I got some rapid fire questions. I hear they're popular at the end of like a podcast or whatnot. So it can be short, can be long, in the middle, these answers. So first one, and Aaron, you can answer first, and then Bill. Why, in your opinion, do so many people struggle to live a healthy lifestyle? What environmental, cultural, social factors work against a healthy lifestyle today?
Well, I think just our rapid fire lifestyle is part of it, adding on constantly the hustle bustle, how much stress we're under, the nutrient deficiency in our foods that isn't providing us the nourishment that we were getting a couple of decades ago. And I think they're, in my mind, two of the biggest things.
The family structure has changed over the course of so many years. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, my mother would come home from work at 5:30. She would start cooking dinner, and there was always a homemade dinner on the table pretty much every night. Now with, 2 and 3 kids in a family playing different sports, different ages, it's a very hectic lifestyle. And, unfortunately, I think the advent or the technology of the microwave has really added to this. You can put something in a microwave and have a meal in less than 5 minutes. But I personally have learned that I'm about to ditch my microwave in place of the air fryer. The air fryer is, again, quick, but way more healthy and nutritious for you in terms of cooking foods with less fats, with less added ingredients and everything else. But the other thing that I see is lack of planning. People don't plan meals. People don't plan their grocery shopping. Does it take time? Yes, but when you're able to come up with a plan and execute it, you're going to see the results.
Yeah, that one gets us usually at my household. It's 3 o'clock, and we're like, what are we going to eat for dinner tonight? Well, no meat's thawed. We're not sure what we're going to have. So it's either order something or cook something super quick that's not maybe the best. So yes, there's some big factors in there, and there's more, but those are for sure keys. All right, number 2, what is the top misconception people have about nutrition and a healthy lifestyle?
Well, I think nutrition, so many people think it's about like counting calories and focusing on restriction, when in my mind, the biggest thing is eat real foods. Just if you focus more on eating foods that grow from the ground or grow from trees or walk the earth, you're going to have less issues and you're not going to have to count calories.
Agreed, yes. And we're not caveman, cavewoman here, but nutrition is about nourishing the body, and when we're not putting foods in our body that are not nourishing or not nutrient dense, but are calorie dense, what's going to happen? You're going to have a higher calorie intake and you're going to gain weight. So I think, and people should, probably think of nutrition as how they're nourishing their body. And I think if they think about it that way, they may make some healthier decisions.
Yeah, I agree. When someone comes to you for coaching, what's one of the top mistakes that you see them making?
Not getting enough protein.
She took the words right out of my mouth. That's the biggest piece. And I think people also struggle with how do they get enough protein? What types of foods are protein rich? And a lot of people skip breakfast, which is probably, again, one of the most important meals of the day, to starting your day with protein. There's a lot of healthy alternatives out there, and just doesn't have to be eggs. Yogurt has protein. So just be cognizant and try and understand where you're getting your protein from and how much you may need during the course of the day.
Yeah, that's a big one. And last one I got for today, when a client comes to you for nutrition and wellness coaching, what is one of the most important things that you work with them on building? Whether it's, not just nutrition, but lifestyle. We talked about sleep, we talked about protein. What's one of the most important things, that domino that you see, that once they get this, everything gets a little easier?
I think managing and reducing their stress. Yeah. Because oftentimes they're so stressed out about what to eat and what they're eating and all of that, that if you don't get them to recognize that that's part of the problem, that then things tend to fall better into place. Yeah. And really go by the 80-20 rule. Like 80% of the time, if you're really maintaining and doing this, then it's okay to have that imbalance 20%. But you can't be flip-flop, because if you're only doing good 20% of the time, the 80% is really going to snowball.
One of the things that I like to tell clients is think of the 3 C's. Confidently commit to consistency. If you can be consistent with a nutrition plan that is healthy and nourishes the body, you're going to be so much better off and ahead in a short period of time. So just by being consistent, you're going to create habits.
Yeah, consistency is king. That's what I like to say. So yeah, that's good stuff. Thank you for walking through all of that. Any closing thoughts, things that you're like, I was going to talk about that and we didn't get there yet?
I think the biggest thing, and going off of what Bill said, like so many people not eating breakfast, I think there's such a big thing on intermittent fasting right now, and people think that it's, I have to not eat till noon. Well, it's basically time restricted eating. So you can start it at any point in the day. So it doesn't have to be like, I can't eat breakfast. I personally do better with breakfast. So I eat early in the day and I quit eating earlier in the evening. So I'm not going to bed with a full stomach.
When we think about our ancestors, yes, they were gatherers, they were hunters. But they weren't eating at 9 o'clock at night. They weren't sitting by the campfire having ice cream or s'mores or whatever. They were sleeping.
I stay up later than I probably should some nights, and that is a big key, because that's one of the biggest problems I've heard from many people that have come through our nutrition coaching programs is I stay up a little late and then I start snacking and it's mindless eating, and so yeah, those are big keys. Cool, thanks guys. Thank you very much for going through that. If you just go to the gym and work out, that's just scratching the surface. There's a lot of factors to nutrition, health and wellness, and a holistic fitness and wellness routine. And again, I think we're just scratching the surface as an industry on how we can develop solutions to help people. But it goes back to coaching, accountability, structure, and support, to having all of these things work together for optimal fitness and wellness.